Danny Flex for Seconds Out here with Lawrence Okolie, British Cruiserweight Champion. Not long ago we saw you actually, so it seems like we're bumping into you all over the place. But finally been confirmed, your opponent for the big show on the 23rd of March is Wadi Camacho. Yeah. A fight that was originally talked about for your last fight, didn't quite come together in time. Now he stepped up to the plate. Something that was alluded to in the press conference. Do you have a kind of newfound or additional respect for Wadi that so many other fighters have seemed to be avoiding you, and he's actually stepped up to the plate now?
I have a respect for boxing, so I have to shout him out for stepping up to take the fight. But it was a long process, and what are people's intentions for taking the fight against me? That's neither here nor there. But I'm happy to have an opponent for that card. I'm excited to be part of it. It's a very, very good card, so I'm just happy that I've got a fight of some value to it.
You also said up there that you want this to be the type of fight where you can try things out and test new things you've worked on with your new trainer. Do you worry that he might perceive that as slightly disrespectful?
He can perceive it how he likes. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, respect boxing. In terms of Wadi, it is what it is. Like my main thing is make sure I come in great shape, because I know Wadi will train very hard. But when it comes to skill for skill, Wadi's not on my level, or on the level of people that I've already beaten, pro and amateur. I also hit quite hard. I'm taller than him. If you just break Wadi down as a fighter, do you know what I mean? I can see many different ways that I beat him. So he's a southpaw, but he's also aggressive. So an aggressive southpaw against someone who's taller than them is already not a great sign. If he goes on the back foot, he's not as athletic as me on his foot with his footwork. So I'll be able to get in and out of range a lot quicker than him. He likes to throw a lot of punches, which gives a lot of opportunities for counter punching. So if I hit him with a counter shot he doesn't see coming, that's another problem. So if you just break down boxing, which is what I'm trying to do more of now, I don't want to say formality because you never know what could happen. But I see myself beating him. But me knocking him out or beating him isn't going to do anything for him. I'm going to leave the fight knowing I'm supposed to. Same way I was supposed to beat the journeyman that I boxed last week. Same way I've beaten a lot of people. I go back home and I'm just like, oh, it is what it is. I don't want to have that kind of performance with Wadi. I want it to be a thing where stuff that I've been practicing comes off. Like after this fight, I might be putting a Lebedev fight or a Kevin Arena fight, who are both good southpaws. So I want to practice stuff, slipping the southpaw jab, blocking it. If I move this way, what way does he move? 10-ounce gloves, can I still see the shots? Just practice, practice, practice.
Could that lead though to you carrying him perhaps, especially if you find yourself incredibly dominant early on? Because you want the rounds, you want to test stuff out, but if you're close to knocking him out in round one, what happens then?
Yeah, then I do exactly what you just said, carrying. I used to have a real problem with that, because I always feel like you don't want to give anyone a chance to land, but I'm getting a lot more confident in my boxing ability. So for me, if you call it carrying, you call it carrying, but I spar people who I'm better than, so I have to sometimes carry them through. But it's about learning in a big stage. Can I listen to instructions in the corner, go and implement them? Can I hold back on power? Because there's sometimes in fights where you can't go full power because the person might be a really good counter puncher, or they might have as much power as you, so you don't want to be in 50-50 exchanges all night. So you might have to hold back on power. You might have to set something up for round 3 and round 1. Like I did in my fight on Saturday. A lot of stuff that happened in that fight, I'm really proud of watching it back. The guy I beat, I'm never going to think about him again. But the stuff that I did in the fight, I'm going to think about going into my next fight, certain setups, certain movement patterns that I was doing, what they set up. Why did I go southpaw at this particular time? Why did I, yeah, I'm excited to take it forward.
Given that there is a dearth in quality between you and a lot of the opponents you've fought so far, and you've fought high-level opponents, you've just proved yourself to be superior to them, does that mean that sparring becomes even more important because that's where you're getting more of your learning?
Yeah, but in sparring, it's more about myself. Obviously, I have a lot of love and respect for people that come and spar me because, without them, there's no sparring. But in terms of it's hard, because there's such a big gap between the British level guys and the world level guys. I'll be a lying if I said that wasn't. You can't compare anyone in Britain besides maybe Tony Bellew or whatever to the level of Usyk or the world champions that we had in the past year or two. So bridging the gap's going to be difficult. I've been asking for a while now for Matchroom to kind of get me linked in with people for sparring. It's a lot more likely now that I'm higher ranked and stuff, so I have a bit more to offer them. But at the same time, I believe in myself, so I'll end up fighting them one way or another.
How did the Fury sparring come about? Was that via Matchroom or was that via your own personal connections?
Via them, they obviously seen me fight before, and they, you know, saw similarities between myself and Wilder, and wanted to, you know, bring me in.
How beneficial was that for you compared to your run-of-the-mill sparring that you get in your own gym?
Yeah, good. It was very, very good. Being out of my comfort zone, having to focus solely on boxing, and just being in there with someone like Fury, who, as I said, not the most athletically gifted guy. He's very tall, very good footwork, but he's not the fastest sprinter. Not, you know, he's not the longest runner. Probably doesn't do the most sit-ups. Probably has a terrible bench press. But what does that mean? You know, you've got someone like Wilder who's physically very gifted, tall, strong, athletic, but you saw what happens when you put boxing first. So that's one thing that I took.
Could you be in the camp for the rematch, perhaps?
If they're ready to pay me, you know, extremely well.
They pay you extremely well the first time?
Kind of well. I expect triple or 4 times the same amount, Ben Davison. But yeah, it's all good.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you the best of luck, obviously, in the next fight and onwards and upwards for 2019.
Thank you.